So I'm back in the shop today. I came in for a little bit yesterday and just a little bit of brainstorming on kind of what I want to do and how I want to do it. I don't have very much time these days with the new baby and all, so I just kind of wanted to get a game plan on kind of what I want to do. So today I've got about 4 or 5 hours, so I'm just going to crank through some of the stuff. But first off, I wanted to say thank you for all the people that sent the comments over about the baby girl. I do really appreciate that. She is doing awesome, sleeping very well during the night, so it's going well. Her older brothers are adapting extremely well, doing well, helping out all the time. So knock on wood, let's hope this continues on. But just kind of want to get some stuff done today. So first up, I'm going to work on this crank pulley, get that thing torqued down, get the radiator mounted for good. Actually, it is mounted right now, but I got to take it back out, take the tape off and all the stuff, and get all the hoses on, and finish that up. And then I'm going to start working on some of the suspension in the back. I listed off some of these things yesterday, but I'll video as I go. But brought the tank down. This thing is a work of art. It is a Boyd's welding tank. They're out of Florida. They are like the top dog for the C10. So this thing bolts to the bottom of the frame rails. I'll show you how to install this thing. The only thing that I'm not super excited about is this wiring here. They used to have two just terminals like this here, like a ring terminal on top here, and I believe this is an aeromotive part, this wire that comes out of here. So I see why he did it. So what I'm probably going to do is put in I don't know if it's a weather pack, or I'm not sure what I'm going to put on there, but a connector here that'll connect into the wiring for the rest of the truck. But it's a really nice piece. I mean, everything is handmade. He even makes these gas caps here, so real nice. So that's going to be going in. Got the big Mamma Jamma torque wrench from my neighbor, buddy of mine again, and the flywheel holder. So I'm going to get set up here, and I'm going to go ahead and start working on to get the crank pulley tightened down. Okay, so I've got my setup here. So I've got my flex plate holder down there, and I'll put a link in the description of where I bought that. I bought that on eBay from, it's a shop up in Minnesota or Wisconsin. Actually, I could be way off. I bought a lot of parts for this thing, but it's a small race shop, so I like supporting small business, so I bought that from them. I think it was like 30 bucks maybe, I don't know, but I'll put that below. I've got Big Bertha attached to the crank pulley, so I'm going to torque that to 240 foot-pounds, and then that's with the used bolt. So then when you do that, you take that bolt out, and you check the pulley face sits proud of the crank snout just a little bit. It looks like it has to sit 2.4 to 4.8 millimeters proud of the end of the crank snout. So I'll check that real quick and make sure, and then you put the new bolt in. First pass goes to 37 foot-pounds, and the second pass is to 140 degrees. So I've actually got my template from when I put the head bolts in. So it's a 50-degree template. 90 is easy. You can figure out how to do 90 degrees, and then I'll do 50 beyond that, so that'll be done. Get that torqued down. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down to 240 foot-pounds, which is quite a bit, so let's see how much this goes. So I've tightened it a little bit already just to kind of start the process here. So for some reason this thing is rebooting. So okay, let's try again. Oh, there it is. That's actually 245 foot-pounds. So now I'm going to go ahead and take that bolt back out, check that the clearance on the end of that snout there, and I'll put the new bolt in, and I'll pick back up on that in just a minute. Okay, so I got the radiator out of the way here. I need to take it out anyway. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to check the depth of the crank snout on the pulley here. So what they want to see is between, looks like 0.094 and 0.176. So let's just see where we're at here. Check this depth here real quick. Uh, 138, which is, let me double check on the other side. We're okay. This is not real scientific here. Yep, 138 on both sides. So that's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and put the new crank bolt in there, and we should be good to go here. So give me a second here. I'll get this reset up. All right, so I got the new bolt in here. I'm going to go ahead and torque it down to 37 foot-pounds. So it's not much with this big one, so we've got to be careful here. Right there. Well, I had it pretty close. So Now we just need to go 90 degree, or yeah, I'm doing 90 and then a 50. So I'm going to crank this thing up because that's going to take some torque. We'll set to 150 and see where that gets us. So try to do 90 degrees as best we can. And this is kind of tough because this water pump snout's right in the way, but we're going to certainly try to get 90. We're already over 150 foot-pounds here. Okay, there's our 90. So I got the crank bolt torqued down. It took a little bit of fiddling there. I ended up stopping the camera because I was having a hard time and I didn't want to look like an idiot, to be honest with you. I got that thing torqued down to 37 foot-pounds, no problem. And then I was trying to figure out how to get my 90-degree template or my 50-degree template to work. I finally did get it to work. I went ahead and instead of using the high-dollar snap-on torque wrench, because I was afraid that this thing was going to be over 250 foot-pounds to torque it to that last 50 degrees. So I used a breaker bar and a section of my jack over there just to be safe, because I don't really want to buy, I think these things are like $600 or $700. I don't want to break it. So just borrowed it. I don't want to return it broken. So I went ahead and fiddled with that for a while, and I finally figured out how to get that last 50 degrees. The 90 degrees, no problem. It proved to be a little bit of a problem with the extension I had on the breaker bar, but I got it down here, and I got to 90 degrees. So it's torqued down. Everything's good to go. So now I'm going to move on. I'm going to put the radiator back in for good this time and hook the hoses up real quick. Got the radiator back in. Everything is torqued down. It is then for good now. It is not coming back out. I got the hoses on. I'm going to go get some new clamps for all of the hoses here. But they are in. Everything lines up. I got to go buy some 3/4 and some 5/8, I think it is, heater hose to hook the heater core back up. So that should take care of that. I was getting ready to start working on the tank. So I got the tank strapped to a piece of wood, and I was going to lower or raise it back up underneath the truck here. And I forgotten that when I did the rear end, let me get the light on here. I left this cross member in right here. It's just a little piece of like a formed channel. Doesn't really do anything, but I left it in there when I was building the rear end of the truck because I wasn't planning on putting the tank in right now. So I don't have any of my drill bits here or my center punch or anything, air chisels, anything to take that out. So that kind of stops me there. Nice little view of the rear end here as it's all sitting in this truck. So I think at this point I am going to, I'm going to throw some Dynamat in the inside because I've kind of run out of things to do here this morning. I need to go get some parts, get some bolts, get some more tools from home. I don't have them at the shop. I took a bunch home and get back up here and take this cross member out and start doing some of the stuff back here. I need to take this panhard bar back out because I forgot to put anti-seize on both of the threaded eyes there on each end. So I need to go back in and take that back out and put that on there and torque them down. And then I'm also going to, I have not torqued the U-bolts down on the rear end either for the trailing arms because I want to get it up on the lift and make sure that that rear end is square with the truck. I did some preliminary measurements when it was sitting on the ground and it was pretty square, but I just want to make sure, and honestly I forgot about doing it when I was on the lift the first time, just make sure it's square with the wheel because it has, just a slight bit of movement, but that slight bit of movement can add up pretty quick. So I want to make sure the truck doesn't dog walk. So I am going to make sure that's square, and then everything will be buttoned up back here. I need to tighten down all the brake lines that are under here, which I'm going to do when it's on the lift because it's a hell of a lot easier to do it up in the air than it is climbing underneath it like this. So kind of limits what I can do. So I am going to put some Dynamat in, which is really boring, but I'll kind of show a picture once I get it in on the rear of the cab. And then we can kind of go from there. So the camera decided it wasn't going to save it in the video that I did putting all this on here. So basically what I did was I bought this, what Dynamat calls a wedge kit. It's just 4 square feet, not very much. I have a little bit left over sitting on the shelf over there. But it's an 18 by 32 sheet of this stuff. And what I did was I cut 6-inch wide by 14-inch tall strips and just mounted on these 6 ribs that are back here. I ran a piece of painter's tape across on this ledge here, right here, and so that they're all the same, and then I centered them all. So it looks like I kind of half-assed know what I'm doing, but looks good. I forgot my roller at home, which I feel like all of my tools are at home. I guess I got a lot on my mind right now, but so they're in. I used a socket to kind of roll it as best I can, but I'm going to bring the roller in and really attach that. And that's kind of about it for today. I am actually going to get out of here. I got to get this torque wrench back. I got everything I needed torqued down with a high torque setting, that is. Crank pulley's on at 240. I actually put the pitman arm on, nut at 180 foot-pounds, and then the trailing arm bolts. And I actually had to torque them down to, I think it was 145. So those are done. So I can take Big Bertha back over there. Started playing around with the wiring here a little bit. I actually split the loom back on that PSI harness back there. It was kind of a weird thing they had set up. I guess it would work fine with the cast manifolds that are on here, but it just wasn't going to work very well with these headers, so I split it back. You can actually see all the bare wires out there now. But I'm going to put that, reloom that, and then I'm going to put the heat wrap on it, for when they're around the headers. So, I did get quite a bit done today. Most of it was just kind of little piddly stuff that I've been needing to get done, so I was just cranking through it. So my list is getting shorter and shorter. I'm hoping next time I've got to... I didn't get to the pan today. I didn't actually really want to climb under the truck. So I do need to take the pan off and seal it up on the four corners. So I got to put all the brake lines in. So I'm going to get I'm going to come down tomorrow and kind of get a new list of what's left. There's kind of a little bit everywhere, so I kind of want to get all that stuff done. I still need to scrape the bottom of both inner fenders, get into the powder coater. He actually emailed me last week wanting to know where I was, and I told him I hadn't forgotten about him, but get all the brake lines in, get the column back in, do the wiring inside, now that I've kind of decided, actually right now, that I'm just going to use what I have. So I'm going to rerun all those wires that are in there. Actually just connect them to what's under there and get everything done in there so I can get the seat back in, get the steering back in, get on the lift and do everything on the bottom and finish this sucker up. We're so close, and it's excuse me, it's kind of exciting. So I'm going to kind of sit down and come up with a new list of everything that needs to get done. Talk to Robert at Bad Luck Garage and figure out what he's going to do with his fuel lines, and then kind of think about these transmission cooler lines, and just kind of start buying some parts and pieces here and there, because those fuel lines are not cheap. So I kind of want to see what we're going to do on that. But that's it for today. It doesn't look like a lot happened, but a lot did happen. I'm excited. So I finally got some time to work on it. And at this point, I'm heading home. So I appreciate everybody watching. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to. Share the videos. I'd love to hear from you guys. Comment below, and with any concerns, questions, kudos, anything like that. So anyway, again, appreciate it. Y'all have a good day.